Welcome back to Balancing Acts. We're talking with Felipe Wityk Sanchez about avoiding financial confusion and having financial clarity. And one thing we want to talk about now is the hidden cost of poor record keeping. That can lead to tax surprises, owing a lot of taxes, maybe getting in trouble even where you with your cash flow. You think you're making more money, and suddenly the end of the year comes, either you don't have a profit or you had a profit and you have no idea because all your cash is gone. So what would you say is the importance of keeping clear financial records?
It's absolutely essential. It is the bedrock of all financial clarity and making decisions. I'll give you an example. We have a client who owned a small construction company and also did painting. What happened initially is that they had two companies, two EIN numbers, two separate, but one of them, all of the personal information was tied to one of the companies. And they were passing money back and forth because they needed to finance cash flow for one or the other. So somebody did an estimate of their taxes and in 2023 or 2022, and some other accountant, based on the information that were provided. And we went in and said, well, is this correct? And they said, we don't know. We've been growing so fast. We just gave him some information and he filed for us. Well, we went and reconciled every month correctly and put it in the right categories and saw what was personal and what was business. And at the end of the day, we got them like they had paid $50,000 in taxes, for example. And we amended their tax return based on the correct information of their bookkeeping and got it down and got a refund of $35,000. You know what? They paid us something like 7 or 8 for doing all that work, but they got all this money back and they're so happy. They're so grateful. They're like, all of a sudden they can sleep at night saying, we haven't spent additional funds and money. We have done it correctly. We're abiding by the law. And it's all because of financial records and keeping excellent bookkeeping. And excellent bookkeeping means you have separate bank accounts for business. It means that you reconcile at the end of every month against your bank account what is in your we use QuickBooks, but it could be a bunch of them. There is Wave, there's FreshBooks, there's Xero, there's a whole bunch of accounting packages out there. We're experts in QuickBooks, and we utilize Wave also. Xero. And but that is the foundation for all the work we do. With that, you are able to use that documentation. And I have another client who is wanting to do a bakery. For the first few years, they were just doing tax returns based on their bank statements. They had no bookkeeping in place. We're talking $1.25 million bakery.
Wow.
And they said, we want to grow. We want to buy our own building and grow. I said, well, the only way you're going to grow is if you have bookkeeping records and show your growth and substantiate your bank, your tax filings with the bookkeeping, because the banks require that. They want your personal returns. You want a financial statement for your person, a financial statement for your business, and they want to see bookkeeping that ties out to the bank statements and that ties out to the tax returns, the business and personal tax returns. They want to see this so that we set them up in place 2 years ago, and as we're moving along, now they're ready to buy $1.5 million building, and and are have all their ducks in a row, and all the T's crossed and I's dotted, so that they can get this loan and grow, which makes us extremely happy. We've done this across the board for. I have another client that owns. That started out with 2 nursery schools. Now they're acquiring their 4th nursery school. These are people that want to grow, people that are keeping everything correct. And yes, they're paying more taxes as they're growing, but that is an indicator that they're growing by paying their taxes correctly, by and having excellent books.
I once heard someone say the best tax strategy is to make a lot of money. So you're paying a lot of tax, but you're just making a ton of money. So that's
right. That is a key performance indicator. Make more money, pay more taxes.
Right.
But the thing is that you have to also have excellent tax strategies to mitigate how much you're paying. Your business, depending on the business entity, but it should pay for, your health insurance, for example. You should maximize on your retirement accounts.
Yes.
You should, leverage Section 179 for deductions. Yeah, absolutely. For, strategic deductions.
And I think that, as you talked about that, you weren't just talking about taxes, because everything we do isn't just about taxes. You were talking about your books have to agree with your financial statements. Your financial statements have to agree with your tax return. And when you want money, when you want to borrow money or bring in an investor, they look at all those things, because they're going to look at the financial statement and then they're going to go down into your books. So even just as more important, really, I think, than just the tax return is the financial insight you get from having clean records, from having records that can help you make better financial decisions. Now, I know you also teach some courses in bookkeeping, understanding how to do bookkeeping, understanding their own bookkeeping, and how to read their financial statements. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, your financial literacy trainings?
Sure. So I live in New York City here, and we teach New York City entrepreneurs how to keep their books. What is like an overview of what the end result is, clarity in your profit and loss statement, and clarity in your balance sheet, and how to set up transactions where at the end of the day you're able to reconcile, and we do it for free, by the way. You just have to go to Eventbrite, and the classes are for free. All these financial literacy classes, QuickBooks trainings, and how to read a financial statement, and what is how to work with a balance sheet, how to be profitable. Yeah, you go to Eventbrite /SBS, Small Business Services. And you'll see all the courses that are offered out of New York City Small Business Services website and portal. They're both in Spanish and English. I used to do both, but now my team does the Spanish ones. And
And are these only for New York businesses? Can anybody,
No.
any businesses from around the country sign up for these?
I am episodically shocked that there are people coming in from Florida and Texas, especially
even though they're non-tax states, right? Because let's face it, and we pay a lot more taxes in New York City.
That's right. But they're learning QuickBooks. They want to learn QuickBooks, and they found out that we're teaching these 3-hour classes for free.
Fantastic.
And then or the 1-hour class or the 2-hour classes, depending. And New York City is providing that service.
I think it's phenomenal of you and your team, because you're doing this pro bono, right? That teaching these classes, and it's a much needed service, because there's, business failure rates are very high. And one of the things I talked about earlier about drift, that's what happens. They don't understand their numbers. They don't understand their books, and they start drifting towards The red line could be no profit. It could be, poor cash flow, that really tremendous amounts of financial stress. So it's incredibly important what you're doing there. And would you say, what would you recommend? Maybe someone hasn't taken the course yet. What's one thing they can do to improve their record keeping now if they're not sure what condition they're in?
Well, at a minimum, have 2 separate bank accounts. Have separate business and personal.
Right.
Secondly, Wave is a free product that H&R Block bought. They have a paid subscription one, and download all your electronic transactions and start categorizing them. QuickBooks has also a inexpensive products. They have 6 different products. They have Simple Start, Ledger, Essentials, Plus, Advanced, etc. And so there are products out there that for the starter entrepreneur to categorize all of their income and expenses.
That's really great. We're going to take a commercial break. Felipe, how can people find more about your website, and also repeat that training site?
So the website is www.Wellspring Financial Services in New York City. And the Eventbrite, the free courses are Eventbrite /SB, like boy, S, so Small Business Services. And then you'll see all the trainings that go on there.
Thank you. That's phenomenal. Stay with us. We'll be right back, and we will talk some more about getting financial clarity.